I told you we're fine. Why do you keep meddling in my life like this? Can't you just leave it alone?
Honey, why are you being so rude? You can't talk like that to your own mother.
How old do you think I am? I don't need you to make food for us. We can look after ourselves.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I just thought you might like to take some home with you. I know how busy life can get. Sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves and eat regularly. I remembered from before that you liked grilled mackerel, so I prepared some for you. Why don't you just take it home? It's very good for your health, full of nutrients. I took extra care cooking it for you. Just take it home. It will last for a few days, so you don't have to eat it straight away.
I don't even like mackerel. I can't stand the taste, in fact. Don't pretend to care about me now. I'm not a child. How many times do I have to tell you?
Honey, why are you being like this towards your mother? You're being so rude. You should be thanking her for making the effort to make you extra meals. Julie, I'm so sorry for Michael. I think he must just be tired from driving for so long. Please don't pay any attention to him. Really, I'm very sorry. I promise he won't be so ungrateful in the future. Don't take it personally.
It's okay, Jane. Don't worry. I should have remembered that he doesn't like mackerel. I must have confused him for his father. It was my fault. I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. I'll save it for your father. It's no bother. I shouldn't have made something that you don't even like. I can see how it looks uncaring. I promise it's just my old age. My memory is not as good as it used to be. Next time I will check with you first before I make anything.
Never mind. I don't want anything from you. Don't bother asking me in advance. Didn't you hear what I said? Honestly, are you deaf and stupid? I told you to stop meddling. I don't want anything from you, so just leave me alone. Do you understand me? Or maybe you should get your head looked at. Oh, bat.
Michael! Why on earth are you being so rude? Aren't you being too harsh on your mother? She's only trying to help.
What? Did I say anything wrong? I'm just being honest. I'm fed up of her sticking her nose in.
I'll cook you what you like and I'll have the mackerel. It's very kind for her to prepare something for you. You should just accept it. I'm sure it's delicious, Julie. Thank you. Should this really elicit such a reaction from you? She didn't mean anything malicious by it. If you don't want it, just say. You don't have to take it this far. Apologize to your mother right now.
Really, Jane, don't worry. I'm fine. I don't want to start anything between the two of you. Let's just forget I said anything, okay? I don't like to see you two fight.
See? She said it's fine. I don't need to apologize for something that doesn't warrant it. Just leave it alone. You're the one who is making it worse. I'm not even making it into a big deal. You always accept anything she gives you anyway. Is everything I'm saying falling on deaf ears? You women don't listen at all.
Okay. Forget it. It's fine. Next time I won't make anything, I promise. You guys need to get going anyway. I'm really okay, so let's leave it at that. Your father is coming home soon. He just finished work, so let's forget this before he comes back.
Julie?
Come on then, let's go. Hurry up. Actually, never mind. I'll wait in the car.
What on earth has gotten into him? Julie, I'm really so sorry. I have no idea why he reacted like that. I'm so embarrassed. He's never like that when he's with me. He behaved like a completely different person. I really don't know why he's being so sensitive right now. He only started being like this since we arrived here.
It's really fine, Jane. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I started unnecessary upset. Please don't be upset. Here, take this.
What is it?
I prepared a casserole for you, too. I heard that it's one of your favorite things to eat. I was hoping we could eat it together tonight, but since the mood has soured, why don't you take it home to have later? Just wait a moment. I'll wrap it up for you. Just have it at home. Don't tell Michael that I gave it to you.
Julie, that's really kind of you. Thank you. I've accepted so much from you already. I need to return the favor to you.
Don't be silly. I just have too much time on my hands. I get bored, so cooking is just something to keep me occupied. Really, it's no bother at all. You don't need to return the favor. Michael is waiting for you. You should get going. I'll feel bad if he gets mad at you for taking so long. Don't worry about me. It's okay.
Okay, Julie. I'll see you next time then. Thank you so much for the casserole. I'm sure it's delicious.
It's okay, darling. Safe journey home.
See you again.
What the hell is wrong with you? You wouldn't have been like that in front of your father. You were so disrespectful, it was embarrassing. Why were you being so mean to her? Don't you care about how it would make your mother feel to say those things? Why should I care? She's fine anyway. She said it herself. She was being so thoughtful and kind to you. And you just made her uncomfortable by saying unnecessary things. How can you act that way as her son? You should be looking out for her, not making her feel bad for caring about you. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what the situation between us even is, so don't lecture me on how I should be speaking to her. Don't stick your nose into other people's family drama when you don't have the full story. Even so, what right do you have to speak to her like that? You should respect your elders. You are straight up ungrateful. I was even worried you should react badly to her mothering, so I asked you before we left to just be respectful. I asked you not to lose your temper with her. And look what happened. You raised your voice with her over fish. You looked very childish getting angry at your mother like that. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? For God's sake, today of all days, why do you choose to interfere with my business? It has nothing to do with you. Do we have to share every detail of our lives just because we're married? Sure, you don't have to tell me every detail. But from what I just saw, something serious is going on between you two, so I think I should know. Otherwise, you shouldn't have behaved like that towards your mother in front of me. But now you have involved me in your drama. If you didn't want me to know, then you shouldn't have caused a scene in front of me. Never mind. I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. You just can't bear sticking your nose in where it's not wanted. Admit it. What's going on between me and her is our business. And you're missing a big part of the puzzle. Exactly, so tell me what's going on. I don't want to. Why should I? I told you it's between us. For God's sake. Fine, I'll leave it. You've won. I won't ask any more questions about it. You sort it out with her since it's so clearly none of my business. Your mother thinks so highly of you, although I'm starting to wonder why now. Did I ever ask for her praise? Her opinion of me? It's not a small thing that's between us. Otherwise, I would be able to let it go. And now you're getting involved. Don't I have the right to be angry? Since you won't explain it to me, from my perspective, all I can see is that you're having a go at your mother for no reason. You should figure out your feelings yourself instead of taking it out on her. Didn't you think about how you were making her feel like complete trash the way you were speaking to her? How would you feel if she became ill from how you are treating her? I would be glad. I'd celebrate. Are you crazy? How can you say that? Don't talk about her to me anymore. I won't hear another word. I feel even more stressed because of you. Get out of my face before I really lose it. You think I'm enjoying this conversation right now? I wish I had never visited your parents' place with you. Then this never would have happened. You keep looking for someone to blame for all this, but you only have yourself to blame for how you've handled it. You're going to make your mother sick. You shouldn't visit her when you feel like this. Why shouldn't I go? It's my house too. I grew up there. You should really be on my side. I'll go as much as I like. Every week. What a temper tantrum. Whatever. If you're going to be like that, go by yourself. I've had enough. I'm sick of it. What are you up to lately? For God's sake, what is it now? What have I done? Are you cheating on me? Tell me the truth. Are you out of your mind? Who would I cheat on you with? There are no other women in my life right now. Cheat on you? Don't be ridiculous. Then who the hell is this person in this photo? What the hell is that photo? Where did you get this? Have you been following me? What gives you the right to follow me?
Is that really the important thing right now? Answer the question. If you're not cheating on me, who on earth is this woman? I'm not sure who I feel more sorry for, me or this woman, since you're taking us both for fools. You think you can hide this from me? How can you go running around with this woman? Isn't she a bit old for you anyway? You're disgusting. Tell me who she is.
You've really lost your mind this time. Why are you following me like some kind of stalker? You're driving me crazy.
You were acting suspicious, so of course I followed you. You weren't going to get away with sneaking about behind my back.
It's not what you're thinking. You've got this all wrong. You're suspecting me for nothing. You need to stop this right now.
Then go ahead and put my mind at ease by telling me who this woman is. Explain it to me so I can understand why you are meeting another woman behind my back. Tell me how I've got this wrong.
If I tell you you've got it wrong, you should just believe me. Relationships should be about trust after all. I'm not cheating on you. Do I need to explain it any more than that? You're the one acting crazy following me around. Is that my fault? You're shameless. Do you really not feel guilty for crossing the line like that?
Well, if you're so sure that I'm in the wrong, show me. Tell me how wrong I've got it all. Don't even think about making any excuses. I have all the proof I need right here. You were sneaking off to meet with another woman instead of meeting her with me at our house. How could I have got it wrong? Don't insult my self-respect by lying. Tell me the truth right now.
It's my mom, damn it.
What?
I said it's my mom.
Don't make me laugh. Do you really think I would believe that? What kind of excuse is that? Are you playing with me right now?
I'm telling you the truth. The woman that is living with my dad right now is my stepmom. She's not my birth mom. The woman in the photo you took when you were following me around is my birth mom. I was meeting her secretly without my dad knowing. He doesn't want me to see her. He cut off ties with her, so I have to meet her without him knowing.
Can I really believe anything he's saying right now? If his dad really hates his birth mom, I can't ask him to see if it's the truth. Is she really his birth mom? Is Julie really his stepmom? If it's true, he was right and there really is more that I don't know. Have I really been so mean and unfair like he said? Is she really your birth mom? Why does your dad not speak to her anymore? What happened between them?
My birth mom made a mistake, so my dad divorced her. But I felt bad for my mom, so I decided that I would still meet with her. If my dad finds out that I have been seeing my mom behind his back, he'll cut me off. So if you don't want to break this family apart, I suggest you don't say a word about it. Keep your mouth shut like you're doing now and pretend like you don't know anything.
What mistake did she make for it to end in divorce? Going around like this doesn't feel right.
You don't need to know. Just keep this one secret for me. That's all I'm asking. You were never meant to be involved anyway. So don't waste money on hiring a private investigator to follow me. If you're going to waste money on something like that, you should just give it to me.
Why are you bringing up money? What does that have to do with anything?
I have things I need that kind of money for. We should be saving as much as we can.
What kind of things do you need money for?
You know, this and that.
Why are you being cryptic again? How can I just trust you and give you money if I don't know what it's for? Is there more you're trying to hide from me right now? The fact that your dad's remarriage was a secret and you meeting your birth mom behind his back. I found all of that out. So whatever is left, you may as well tell me, because it's going to come out sooner or later. Or are you really going to keep secrets from me your whole life?
Of course you're so incapable of trusting me you hired someone to follow me after all. You forced all of this out of me. Just think of this as your punishment for the line you've crossed with me.
What? You're not going to tell me so you can punish me? Are you going to apologize for the fact that you lied to me? Don't you see what you've done wrong?
When did I lie to you? I just didn't tell you anything. That's different from lying.
Of course it is. You were deliberately dishonest.
You let me believe that Julie was your real mom and that your dad had never been married before. You didn't need to know, so I didn't tell you. But I never lied. I never even called her my mom. My dad doesn't even like me mentioning my birth mom. Why would I come forward and start talking about my birth mom to you? It is easier to just keep it to myself. I don't even recognize the woman in front of me right now. How can I open up to you? You just twist my words anyway. You should have told me everything. I don't know what happened between your dad and your birth mom, but whatever it is, maybe that is a good reason to stay away from your birth mom. Is it really the adult thing to do? To meet up with her behind her dad's back? Why does it even matter to you? It has nothing to do with you. You're not even involved in this. You should just be happy that I'm not cheating and leave it alone. I don't need your advice on how I should handle this. Should I tell you all the minute details of my life? Of course you should. I'm your wife. You need to tell me everything right now. God, you're so annoying. I don't want to tell you, so just forget it. It changes nothing if I tell you. Just carry on as you were and let me sort out my family business. Wow. You dare to raise your voice at me? Don't you have any respect for anyone but yourself? You went behind my back and spent all that money on something so unnecessary. Where's the respect that you should show me? If you can't trust me and keep following me around, then I can't live with you anymore. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder all the time. You have some nerve to talk about trust. How can I trust someone who lies to me? You're unbelievable. Whatever. If you're going to tell my dad about me meeting my birth mom, go ahead. I'm not the one who will die alone. Before we got married, I thought you were a decent man, but you've really changed now. What changed when we got married? Why did you become so different? You're not the man I fell in love with anymore. How can a person change just like that? You should have told me from the start about your dad's remarriage and meeting your birth mom secretly. That's the sort of thing you should tell your wife. Fine, I get it now. Just stop it now. Who are you?
It's Michael's mother. Who else would it be? Shouldn't you know who I am? Michael tells me that you didn't trust him, so you followed him. You should already be familiar with my face.
I didn't get a good look at her face in that photo because of her messy hair. Could it really be her? Why the hell has she come all the way to our house? Michael is not even home. Michael should have told me if he's invited his birth mom to our house. What is his deal? Is this more punishment? Oh, yes, of course I recognized you. What can I do for you?
What do you mean, what can I do for you? Didn't Michael tell you? I'm living here from now on, so hurry up and let me in. Or are you going to make your mother-in-law wait outside in the cold?
Sorry? Michael didn't tell me anything about you coming to live with us. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
He won't be very happy if you call him at work just to ask him something he's already agreed to. Hurry up and let me in already.
No! I'm sorry, I need to check with my husband first. I can't just let you into my home. We've never even met before. Excuse me, what are you doing? You can't just let yourself into someone else's home.
It's my son's house. Of course I can let myself in. What's your problem, girl? Now stop whining and get out of my way. Wow, the house is a lot bigger than I expected. I guess this will do nicely. Do kids these days really have a house like this as their first place? Back in my day, the standard was 2 floors and a small first yard. Now look at what you can get. I bet there's no issue with hot water here. Is this the main reception room?
Excuse me? What do you think you're doing? You can't just give yourself a tour of someone else's house. You weren't even invited inside.
Someone else's house? I told you, this is my son's house. It's not like I'm a stranger. I'm your mother-in-law, aren't I? Don't I get to be treated with a bit more respect? You should be welcoming me into your home. Where are your manners? And how dare you raise your voice at me, girl?
Look here, madam. You've come in here without invitation and started acting like the landlord. Just because your son lives here doesn't give you the right to burst in. Where are my manners? How about yours? As far as I'm concerned, you are not my mother-in-law at all. You're a stranger who has come into my house without permission. You need to leave. Right now. I refuse to live with someone who could be so rude. So go and sort this out with my husband. I don't care. But you need to get out of my house right now.
Do you think I'm intimidated by you? You think I'll leave just because you say so? I came to my son's house. You don't have the right to chase me out of it. So shut your mouth and start preparing me something to eat. I'm famished. I expect to be well taken care of as your mother-in-law. It's your duty as a wife to make me feel comfortable, after all. Aren't you going to get started? Why are you just standing there? Do you hear me, girl? Make me something to eat! How can you sit on my sofa? You've not even taken off your shoes! You're going to make it dirty! I can't wash that sofa, you know. It's velvet. Get up right now! You're marking it! I'm really going to kill Michael. He needs to get here right now. Otherwise, I'm really going to throw this old lady out onto the street. Don't make me laugh. This sofa looks cheap anyway. What does it matter if I put my feet on it? It's not like it's worth anything. You really have cheap taste. There's a lot of things in here we'll have to change. Starting with this sofa. If you're so worried about dirt, I'll go and wash up. You have a bath, don't you? I'll be relaxing with a soak until you finish cooking my meal. It's been a while since I've had the chance to have a nice soak. Go start running the bath for me while I catch my breath here. Add bubble bath, too. I want to see lots of bubbles. Oh, and why not bring me a glass of wine whilst I'm soaking? Got it, girl. This is ridiculous. You don't really expect me to wait hand and foot for you, do you? Just throw away my old clothes. I'll change into something more comfortable. Bring me something of yours from your closet that I can change into. Something comfortable. Michael, you're home. How was your day, darling? I hope you didn't work too hard. Oh, Mom, you've already arrived? Michael, I need to speak to you right now. Privately. Hey, Michael has just gotten home from working outside all day. Don't send him outside. Anything you have to say it in here, in front of me. Excuse me? Fine, you want me to say it here? I'll say it here. What is it, Jane? What do you have to say to me? Whatever it is, you can say it in front of my mom. She doesn't deserve to be talked about behind her back. Anyway, I'm sure I told you what was happening before I left for work. That Mom is going to be living with us from now on. You heard me tell you this morning, didn't you? Are you joking with me right now? Are you the only person living in this house? Don't you think I should have a say in that decision? Regardless, you didn't say a word to me about it this morning, and you know it. You should have told me in advance at least. Come on now. Would it have made much difference if he had told you in advance? He's bringing his mother to his own home. Does he need to ask for your permission to do that? Huh? My mom doesn't have a suitable place to live right now. She doesn't have any other choice but to stay with us. Anyway, it's already happened now, so what do you want me to do? Kick my mom out onto the street? You can't expect me to do that. Are you really so unfeeling that you would ask that of me just so that you are more comfortable? Where is your sense of duty? Why are you going that far? Did I ask you to do that? Don't you think you're acting a bit extreme? All I'm asking is for you to properly communicate with me. I refuse to continue to live here with the two of you. You should have looked for somewhere else that your mom can stay in instead of assuming I would be okay with this. Why should I live with her? Listen, girl. You should show me a little more respect. Do you think Michael has the money to find me a place for myself? If he did, do you think I would be here? Don't you ask him to find me someplace else. And what's so wrong with living with your mother-in-law? I think it will be fine, so don't make a fuss. You're the one who has a problem with it after all.
Maybe you're the one who should find somewhere else to live if you don't like it so much. Isn't that right, Michael? What did you say? My mom is right. If you're so unhappy about living with my mom and me, then you can just leave. It's too much to ask me to find somewhere else for my mom to live. She can live wherever she wants to. I don't have any money to find her a new place anyway, since I was giving her most of my salary for her to get by. You gave her an allowance?
Michael has been giving me money every month.
Don't tell me you didn't know that either. Are you two really married? You don't seem to know anything about Michael. So what did you do with all of that money that he gave to you? Is it all gone? How much did he even give you? You should have used that money to find you a place to live. I gave her half of my salary every month. The way I look at it, my mom comes first. I have to make sure she's taken care of before anyone else. That's my duty to her as someone who gave birth to me and took care of me as a child. Are you kidding me? So have you just been lying to me about how much you make every month? What does it matter where the money went? What matters is that it's gone. I have to live and eat too, so I spent it all. I might have even used the leftover to enjoy the rest of my time I have left, at my old age. Did you just say you blew the rest away having fun? Yes, I spent it on nice things like expensive food. I can't help it that my palate prefers expensive food. So you should fill the refrigerator with steak and seafood. That's the kind of things I've been eating lately. A little bit of caviar wouldn't hurt either. I don't need to tell you what alcohol to buy, do I? Mom, don't worry. I'll go to the store for you and find something for you to have to eat. I'll fill the refrigerator with anything you want. You don't need to go outside by yourself. I don't want you getting lost or hurt. If you need anything, I can get it for you. And you don't need to lift a finger. Just ask Jane to cook you something to eat if you're hungry. Thank you, darling. It's nice to know there's nothing to worry about with you here. They're just as bad as each other. They think I'm just going to put up with this? No chance. Just watch. I'll get my own back at them. I'll turn the tables on this situation. Suddenly, the woman who was calling herself Michael's birth mom and burst into our house began to make my daily life a living hell. She ate everything inside and consumed only the highest quality foods. Of course, she also didn't lift a finger to help with any of the house chores. And I felt like I was a slave to her every demand, and she was the slaver. Not only that, but she started secretly selling items in the house one by one and used the money to buy her own clothes and luxury goods. This was all still receiving an allowance from my husband's monthly salary. Michael and I fought a lot over this issue. He persisted that, because she was his birth mom, as her daughter-in-law, I should do whatever I can to make her feel comfortable. But of course, that would only apply to someone who I could bear to live with. I wouldn't give in to her outrageous demands. She continued to be brazenly rude and unscrupulous on more than one occasion. Every day was like fighting in a war. But one day, she did something that crossed the line for good. Excuse me? What are you doing with that? That's my engagement ring! And as a matter of fact, that bracelet on your wrist is mine too! Why are you touching other people's valuables? That jewelry is sentimental to me. You can't just take it. Why does it matter? From what I can see, you never even wear any of it. At least I'm putting it to some use. It's so sad to see them just sitting around the house not being used. And if I'm wearing them, then they're not cluttering the house. It doesn't matter who is wearing them. At least someone is taking care of them. What's wrong with that? Why is it such a big problem? It's better than letting them gather dust in this house. It's only jewelry. How does it clutter the house? Besides, they were stored safely in my jewelry box. They won't get damaged in there. I told you that is my engagement ring. I just took it off when I was doing some household chores because I didn't want it to get ruined by any chemicals. I was looking high and low for it, wondering where it went. And lo and behold, you were here admiring it on your own finger. Why did you take it? And that bracelet on your wrist was a birthday gift from my sister. It's very special to me. She worked very hard at her part-time job just to be able to buy it for me. They're all very special items to me. I can't believe you would just take them without asking. You're practically stealing from me. How dare you accuse me of stealing? Who are you to say that I'm a thief? Where's your proof? I was just trying them on once and wearing them temporarily. Did you ever see me take them? That's not stealing. For some time now, a few things around the house have started to go missing. You sold them all without me knowing and used the money to buy things for yourself, didn't you? Just like that necklace and brooch that you're wearing right now. You bought them with the money from selling my things. You weren't using them. Doesn't it make sense to make use of the things that have no use and buy something that is really needed? Is that really something you should be complaining to me about? I'm doing you a favor here. I was using all of those things. How can you decide what is useful and what is not? It's not right that you just chose to sell what you like. And with those sentimental items, you can't justify selling them because I'm not using them. I keep them because they mean something to me. They have sentimental value to me, not just practical use. Take it all off right now. For God's sake, girl, why are you being so difficult? If I sell all of these, I could make at least $100 for us to use on things we actually need. I've already picked out a coat that I need. I could buy it with the money from this jewelry. Give them to me. What gives you the right to sell my things and spend it on yourself? If you're not going to cough up the rest of the money you spent selling my other things, at least give the jewelry back to me when I ask you nicely. No, I don't want to. I'm going to sell them all whether you like it or not. I'll sell everything you don't use and use the money for something else. Are you just kicking up a fuss because it's me? You're jealous of me, aren't you? Is it better for them to be collecting dust in your jewelry box for the next 10 years? The pawn shop will be closing soon. I need to go out and make the deal. You're wasting my time standing here arguing with me. If I miss my chance and I can't sell them, are you going to buy me the new coat out of your own pocket? Yes, you're absolutely right. Even if they are things I don't use, I won't let you sell them because I have no interest in helping you. Give them back now. Am I? You've pushed me! Are you trying to kill me? How can you push an old woman to the floor? My own daughter-in-law is trying to kill me! Get away from me, girl! Mom, what happened? Where are you hurt? Did you do this, Jane? What did I do? I hardly touched her. She's just made a fuss because she saw you come in the room. She's putting on a show for you. She's just pretending to fall over. Don't lie. Clearly you did something, otherwise why would she be on the floor all upset? And I clearly saw you push her when I came into the room. Mom, are you okay? Where does it hurt? Oh my! This is how I am treated by my own daughter-in-law. I must be cursed. My hip hurts. I think she made me break my hip when she pushed me. Call 911. I need an ambulance. Hurry! What do you need to call 911 for? Don't be so dramatic. I watched you go down lightly. You're fine. Get up now. Didn't you say that the pawn shop was closing soon? You wouldn't want to miss the chance to sell my jewelry, would you? You seemed pretty determined before to set off with my property. Now I'm not letting you take it. You're kicking up a fuss in front of your son to get sympathy. I know your game. I'm not stupid. How can you talk like that to someone who's in pain right now? Do something and help me. Mom, stay right where you are. Don't move. I'm going to call an ambulance for you. Just hang tight until they come. Oh, never mind. Just get her away from me. Of course it's all about money with her. She was jealous I was spending money on myself and had to make the situation about her. I don't want to be treated in front of her. Don't call the ambulance. Just get me some ice or something for the pain. Jane, don't just stand there. Didn't you hear her? Go and get my mom some ice for her hip. Why should I? You go get her some ice if you're so concerned. I know she's just putting on a show for you. You're the one who's made her like this. You pushed her over. You should be wanting to make it right by getting her whatever she needs. And why do you care so much about what my mom spends money on? She's an adult too, you know. Go fetch some ice for my mom, now. This is actually laughable now. You're covered by your insurance for emergencies, so calling 911 wouldn't cost you. But now you don't want to call them because you know they'll charge you for calling them out when you're faking it. Am I wrong?
Oh my! Michael, it's really painful. I think I'm going to pass out.
What are you playing at? You push my mom on the floor and then continue to verbally harass her? Are you not even going to apologize for what you've done? Don't you realize I'm not lifting another finger for her or for you? Do you think I'm a pushover? Get the hell out right now, both of you. This is my house, so both of you can get the hell out. Hey, what the hell is wrong with you? Have you lost your mind?
Oh dear! Michael, be careful! What is she doing?
Hey, this isn't just your house. You can't kick my son out of his own house. My son has a right to this house too. Once you finish taking a look at this carefully, you can check that this is in fact my house. Then get the hell up and leave. What is this? Jane? Why have you put only your name on our housing contract?
Michael, you told me that you signed the house together. I thought you had a joint mortgage. You told me that your father gave the house to you. How can you not be on the contract?
Isn't this some kind of illegal document manipulation? Who gave you permission to do this?
How can you change the housing rights to only your name? That's not right.
Get the hell out before I pack your stuff up for you and throw it out on the street. I'll chase you out if I have to. Jane, fine, okay, we get it. We're leaving. Just calm down. Let's just talk it all out, okay? Get out!
Julie? John? Jane? What are you doing here at this time? Has something happened? Oh goodness, your eyes are so red and puffy. Have you been crying a lot?
It's because of Michael, isn't it, sweetheart? What has he done to you? Tell me what he did, that stupid boy.
I'm sorry, John. I really tried, but I don't think I can live with Michael anymore. Julie, I'm so sorry too. I really did my best to endure it.
Oh, honey. What do you have to be sorry about? John, could you fetch some tissues for poor Jane here?
Of course, of course. What on earth happened for you to come all this way in such a state?
I'm really sorry to the both of you to ask this. But John, why didn't you tell me that you had remarried and that that person was Michael's real birth mother?
Why do you suddenly ask that?
Because Michael brought a woman to our house and told me that it was his birth mother. He told me that from now on she would be living with us whether I liked it or not. And then she started to take my things without my consent and sell them to buy herself whatever she liked. I'm guessing she's lost everything and had no other option but to steal from me in order to get what she wanted.
What? That boy. He brought her to your house. I begged and begged him to never contact that woman again.
John, calm down. Getting worked up won't make anything better. You shouldn't raise your voice in front of Jane. She's not the one to blame. She's the victim in all of this. You'll scare her half to death. I'm sorry, Jane. We don't like to talk about Michael's birth mother. It can get John quite worked up. Before you and Michael got married, we thought about it a lot. And we decided that, if we weren't to mention Michael's birth mother to you, we should at least tell your parents. It was the right thing to do. Before your parents agreed to the union, we approached them about it. And they agreed to the union despite knowing about his real birth mother. You had already accepted Michael's proposal and were planning the wedding, so we didn't want to ruin that for you. We thought that we had made the right decision to protect you from a messy past that was before your time. But now she has come into your life and caused you unforgivable trouble. I'm very sorry that we did not have the foresight to protect you from something like this happening. It must have been very difficult for you to go through all of that without having anyone to speak your mind to.
Julie, I really can't stand that woman at all. She appeared out of nowhere announcing that she was Michael's birth mom and started to act so entitled, like I should be a slave to her because she was my mother-in-law. I don't even want anything to do with Michael anymore because of her. She turned him into a different person. So I'm actually here to ask permission to kick them out of our home.
I knew this would happen. I had known about how Michael had been secretly contacting that woman. behind my back and behind yours. So I decided that I would change the housing contract and strike his name from it. It was fitting punishment for lying to me about the one thing I asked him not to do. I cannot forgive him for behaving that way, and for what he has put you through, too.
You did that? I had no idea. Honey, he's your only son. Are you sure you want to cut him off like that? Maybe you should have a bit more of a think about it.
I don't need to. Don't you think he was deliberating on crossing the line with me? He's made his choice by contacting her. I'm making mine. I was wondering if he would turn out like me or turn out like her. It looks like it was the latter. Jane, that house is now yours, so you can decide if you want to kick them out of it or not. It's totally up to you, but you have our permission. I don't think that Julie or I should meddle anymore in the matter. The rest is between you, Michael, and that woman. We are just grateful that you even gave our son a chance. I'm sorry that he was such a disappointment to you. I can't be any more shameless by even asking you to give him a second chance. I know he has put you through enough already.
We really appreciate all you have done for him already, Jane.
We apologize for everything our son has done to you. Don't make yourself any more distressed by him. Just do what you want to do from now on. I thought that once he married you, he would become a better man for it. I guess that it's useless to hope so. He didn't change at all. I knew this might happen when I told him not to meet with his birth mother. I guess I only have myself to blame.
Julie, John, thank you so much for being so understanding of my position. And I'm so sorry that there couldn't have been a different outcome. I just couldn't cope with the two of them anymore. I was at my limit.
We understand, Jane. I myself went through a hard time divorcing his birth mother. I can understand more than anyone how she's impossible to live with. I won't be helping Michael anymore in the future, so I hope he'll have a reality check. I will continue my life thinking I have no children. He will probably come begging at our door soon enough, but tell him he is not welcome anymore.
Honey.
I don't want someone like that around, who becomes nothing but a burden and doesn't appreciate all that I have given him over the years. Don't feel bad about throwing him out. It's the least he deserves. And don't try to help him out secretly. He'll only drag you down. You need to cut ties with him.
John, if you don't mind me asking, why did you divorce Karen in the first place?
It's something you've experienced too, so you might already know. But of course it was because of money. That woman would rack up endless debts and expenses. As soon as I made any money, it was gone again in an instant. There was even a time when we didn't even have enough money to live. And it didn't end there either. She was spending money left, right, and center. And she would ask our friends for money, telling them that we were broke. She had no shame in begging for money. She was only concerned with taking care of herself. Sometimes she wouldn't even feed the baby and would leave him all alone while she went out at night to party. It wasn't just a one-off occasion either. She would do this a lot. So I decided I couldn't stand it any longer and I pushed for a divorce. I decided that she was no good for Michael. He didn't need a woman that would put herself before her own children. That was truly a very hard time in my life. The only good thing to come out of it was that, during that time, I met Julie. She was what got me through that divorce.
Oh, John, don't make me blush in front of Jane. I was just glad I could be there for him and Michael. Jane, you've heard what John has had to say, so you can now make your own decision and do what you think is best. We approve anything you decide. Isn't that right, John? We agree that the issue is up to Jane to decide how she wants to handle it. Julie, John, thank you so much for everything. I just have one more thing to ask of you. Even if I am my marriage to your son, do I have your permission to stay in contact with you both? I don't wish to cut off any ties with you. Of course, darling. You can call us anytime, or even feel free to drop by whenever you want. Don't you agree, John?
Absolutely. Just let us know when you're coming and we will prepare some delicious home-cooked food for you.
Thank you so much, Julie and John. I will.
Honey, I came here just like you asked. What's going on? I'm at the subway station. Did you ask me to come here because the house you have found for us is nearby?
That's right. It's in the area of the subway station. Do you see that big house in front of it? That's the place I found for you. You can live there going forward.
What? What do you mean?
You can live there together with your mom. What do you think? Do you like it?
What? There is nothing here. Where's the house? Surely you're not talking about the empty cardboard boxes in front of me, are you? The 2 empty refrigerator boxes?
That's right. I thought it would be the perfect fit for the both of you. I especially found one for each of you. It could be quite difficult for you to live somewhere with your mom, right? You don't want her cramping your space. So I especially found you 1 box each. That way you each have your own space.
Are you joking with me right now? Or have you really just lost your mind? How can anyone live here? In a cardboard box on the street? Do you want us to be homeless? Stop the joking around now. Let's go home and just talk. How about that?
Talk where? You're not coming to my house. Your dad turned all the rights over to me, so it's not your home anymore.
What? That's not fair. I can't even call him up and ask him if that's true because he's not even answering my calls right now. I called him so many times and he still doesn't answer me. This isn't right and you know it. Why did he just hand the house over to you? How can he give my house to someone else behind my back? What kind of a father is he?
You don't know? Your dad specifically told you not to go contacting your birth mom, and you ignored him and did it anyway. You broke your promise to your dad and now you're facing the consequences. You should know better than to disobey your father. He told me that he had been expecting this day to come for quite some time. He had already changed the contract before I even told him what was going on. He had already completely taken your name off the contract before I even asked him to. So you only have yourself to blame. You shouldn't have done something when you knew you shouldn't do it. Or were you only thinking about your mom and no one else?
What? My dad knew all this time and he didn't say anything? Jane, what the hell is this? Divorce papers? Are you telling me you want to get a divorce? Are you serious right now?
Yes. All that time you and your mom were eating and sleeping in my home and not yours. And since you owe me rent from all that time you stayed in my house, I figured I should get what was owed to me. I know that might be difficult for you since you have no money. So I went ahead and sold all of your things that were still in my house to pay for your owed rent. It wasn't nearly enough to cover it, but at least I got something. You can pay the rest of it back by signing those divorce papers. Then we're even.
Jane, this isn't right. You can't just do that. If you sold all my things, then what am I going to wear to work? I don't have any clothes or shoes with me. Have you gone crazy? Why are you being like this? You can't sell other people's things just because they owe you money. If you had given me time, maybe I would have been able to find it somehow.
It didn't stop your mom doing it to me when she was living in my house. Taking and selling my things without my consent? Was it still wrong then? Ask your mom. Ask her where she got all of her nice things, how she paid for it all. She didn't seem to have a problem with taking other people's things for her own means. She even bought herself some nice new clothes with my money. Did you think I wouldn't say anything? Wouldn't do anything about it?
Jane, please. Let's just go home and talk about it more face to face, huh? I can come over right now. We have a lot to talk about, don't you think? Why don't we just sort it all out between us? It's not right to have such a serious conversation over the phone. You can't just end our marriage like this without any warning. I'm on my way to you right now.
If you turn up at my door, I'll call the police. I don't even want to see your face right now. It seems like, to me, our divorce is the least of your problems anyway. Since your dad told me to tell you that he's cutting you off. He's not going to be sending you any more money to support you, so he said not to even bother asking. Looks like even if you did ask him for somewhere to stay, he'd have nothing to give you, since he's given it to me instead. He told me to convey the message to you that he's not even going to give you $1.
What? My dad said that to you? How could he? You're lying. You're a liar. You're just trying to get back at me because of what happened between you and my mom. Am I wrong?
You still don't get it, do you? I think you should take a closer look at the situation. Then you'll see the only person you have to blame for all of this is yourself. Anyway, pass on my regards to your mom and let her know I found her a place for the both of you.
She's probably spent all the money you two have left by now anyway. How could you let your mom spend all that hard-earned money from your dad and stepmom anyway? She just spends it all on clothes. What a waste. If you want to continue to live with your mom, I wouldn't give her any more money if I were you. You both need to come to your senses and be better people. I can't just abandon her. She's my birth mom. She's the one who gave birth to me. But what you do instead is any better? The answer is not giving your mom all the money she wants to spend on clothes and getting her hair done. You can't just bend to her every will. I think if it wasn't for me, that house would have been a disaster. It's only a matter of time before she makes you bankrupt. All that time, I was the one keeping your mom in check and keeping everything together. No, Jane, just listen. Why can't we just all live together? It doesn't have to be like this. You're my wife. You should act the role of the daughter-in-law to my mom. I thought that way too before you turned into someone I hardly recognize anymore. What kind of people trap their daughter-in-law in the house like a mouse and make her do everything for them? I am not your slave. People are supposed to be good to each other in their relationships. That's how they are maintained. I don't even blame your mom for how she is. I blame you for not standing up to her. I bet in a year, no, maybe a few months, you won't be able to stand it anymore. I bet you won't be living together then. No, I'm not like that. I will always protect my mom. She has no one else. Fine, protect her until the very end. We'll just wait and see how long that lasts. We'll see how quickly you turn your back on her. I will always protect you too, Jane. Protect me? Thanks for the offer, but I'd rather decline. Because I don't need protecting. I can protect myself just fine. You of all people have shown me that. Think about it long and hard in your new residence. It's apparently going to get quite cold soon, so I hope it's not too difficult for you. If you're too cold, there's a clothing bin you can rifle through. Last I checked, there's a scarf in there for you. Anyway, if that's everything, I'll be off now. I'm super busy these days. Say hi to your mom for me. Bye! Jane! Jane! That was the last conversation I ever had with my husband. I could no longer avoid the fact that I had to divorce him. After I asked for advice from John, he told me that he would help me and found a divorce lawyer straight away. He filed the necessary paperwork against Michael. To be honest, I was a bit surprised too. John decided that he would trust in me over his son. I was just grateful that he had decided to help me. Michael saw that his father had truly abandoned him. He found me and told me with tears in his eyes that he would sign the divorce papers. He handed me the signed document straight away. I was truly delighted. But the really amazing thing was that during the night, while Michael was sleeping, his mom stole the wristwatch he was wearing and ran away with it. He had no way of getting it back or contacting his mom as she had no cell phone. He went back to his father's house to beg, but I heard they got into a physical fight. And the police were called and they took Michael away. I heard it all from Julie. I still talk regularly with John and Julie, and sometimes we have meals together at their house. I am doing well now, in the company of two people who treat me like I was one of their own. It will be John's birthday soon, so I better start looking for a birthday present for him. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button.